another Wisconsin Democratic Party chair. It's so great to see you. You have been playing an integral role in what I consider the most important political race in 2023. So tell me what's going on with the Wisconsin State Supreme Court race right now.
Thank you so much. We've been covering this on your show. I'm so excited that people across the country are talking about it, because this is going to really define the future of democracy and abortion access and politics in Wisconsin, which, as you know, is the tipping point state for the entire country. This three conservative party in our state Supreme Court that has acted like a third branch of the state legislature. The Chief Justice is retiring, a Republican, so it's an open seat, and it's Janet Protasiewicz on the progressive side versus Dan Kelly, who worked for the Republican Party on the fake elector scheme. On the conservative side, we can vote in a series of incredibly high stakes decisions. Right now, I would much rather be on Team Janet than Team Dan Kelly, and the issues around abortion and reproductive freedom are so personal and so powerful for so many people. And democracy is so pivotal. Elections, these are care about the civic health of our state and our country. Those are more powerful than the Republican message, which is 100% fear mongering about crime. So I feel him, but we're taking nothing for granted in the final stretch.
Now, if your candidate wins, when does she take the seat of the judge? When could court cases be impacted? How quickly could we see an impact?
So the new justice will be in August. So there's a period before then, and I hope not too much happens during that period of time. But in August, you're already on the state Supreme Court, and it is entirely possible that the case moving its way through lower courts about Wisconsin's abortion ban, which was passed in the year 1849, before women had the right to vote, before the invention of modern medicine, that ban could come before the state Supreme Court next year. So right, all providers of abortion care in Wisconsin have stopped providing that care, and people have to leave the state not only to get that kind of reproductive health care, but also OBGYNs have to leave the state to finish their training right now. We have a real crisis, a shortage of, could change the second the Supreme Court makes its own ruling, if Dan Kelly doesn't get on the court and rubber stamp this law that is really should be superseded by many other laws that have come since. We also have seen a string of decisions by our state Supreme Court, certainty that if Dan Kelly gets a term on the state Supreme Court, he will be writing opinions for the conservative majority that restrict voting rights even further in the state, Wisconsin, that right now is 47 out of 50 when it comes to ease of voting. So that's a scary thing that could happen, but probably won't if Janet Protasiewicz gets. Wisconsin has the legislative maps and congressional maps with the biggest partisan bias of any state in America. And those maps were chosen by the state Supreme Court. It's the only, with divided government, a Democratic governor that has ultra-partisan Republican gerrymandered right-wingers decided that's the way things should go. Those maps are vulnerable to a constitutional challenge if we have a state Supreme Court that actually pays attention to the law and the Constitution. So a case like that could certainly be brought after August. It's a big question about how quickly it could be adjudicated. Redistricting is prominent in a bunch of states, and it could absolutely happen in Wisconsin as well if there's a state Supreme Court that takes the right to vote in our Constitution seriously.
So abortion rights, voting rights, and maps in Wisconsin all on the ballot next Tuesday. What will you be watching for on
crossing the state pretty much nonstop until Tuesday night, but I will land in Milwaukee, which is Janet Protasiewicz is a former prosecutor in Milwaukee. She's currently a judge in Milwaukee, and her election night event will be there. So I'll be in a room surrounded by screens, looking at county by county and municipality by municipality with thousands of elections, as well as this huge statewide election. So I'll be looking at the Racine mayor's race, the Green Bay mayor's race, the state Senate special election in Ozaukee County, the northern suburbs of Milwaukee. all those things will affect how elections are administered in 2024. They're high stakes races in themselves in court race. I'm interested in what happens with turnout and margins in Dane County and Milwaukee County. I'm interested in the WOW counties, the Washington County, Ozaukee County, and Shaw County, which are the kind of
WOW counties. I love that.
Yes. Those are the Democrats that they're no longer bright red. They're still pretty Republican. But if we, for example, see a 40% return for Janet Protasiewicz in Waukesha County, he's almost certain to win statewide. That is, Scott Walker would hold that down. That would be a huge shift. There's always this question about how well Democrats do in rural parts of Wisconsin. The whole northwest of the state is pretty rural, tons of wonderful Northwoods. If Democrats can hold their own and not slip, that'll be an important indicator. And then as well, talk about the BOW and the WOW. BOW is the Brown County, which is where Green Bay is located, Allegheny County, which has Appleton, and Winnebago County, which has Oshkosh, very purple. And so if we're winning in those areas, we're going to have a great night. Pretty much, it was an election right before I became chair where the progressive candidate lost the Supreme Court race by less than one vote per precinct across the state, 5,981 votes, which means you have to look everywhere for votes and you have to contest every community, everywhere all the time to win in Wisconsin. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Literally every vote counts. There you go. Ben Winkler, Wisconsin Democratic